Hey there, Pisces. This is your reading for the week of November 23rd. Thank you for your patience while we figured out which channel we'd upload these videos to. You probably noticed already that on my YouTube channel, Rita Yanez, that all 700 plus videos are missing. It's amazing. The tool that I was using had nothing to do with YouTube. It had nothing to do with Google developers or any of the technical support. The Google products are the finest ever. So this was an opportunity that landed square in my lap, and we decided that it was worth taking it for a spin, if only to review it for you, so that you can learn what we did, that it is worthless anyway. So I'll be talking to you about that in March of 2016, and we're going to be uploading a lot of videos here tonight for December and beyond. With that said, let's start this reading that lives now on Rita Yanez TV. Yay! Monday, the card that you've drawn is the Knight of Swords. The Knight is a card that talks about forceful communication. Now, this kind of forceful communication doesn't have to result in fists in the face, kick to the ass. It doesn't have to be like that, but it might as well be that kind of mental sparring when we have difficult issues to breach or where there could be a falling out with a family member. This is a week that is somewhat contentious already in the North American country of the United States, because here we celebrate this, although I've got a lot of friends in a lot of other countries that celebrate Thanksgiving as well. With that said, remember that there are some battles that are not worth fighting. There are wars that yield nothing. Sometimes the best thing to do is to just do what I do, which is just don't do anything about it. I try to keep the drama away from my life. When people bring me drama, I try to send it back if they're not paying for me to hear it. And with that said, just keep in mind that some things are better left unsaid. Tuesday, we've got the Ace of Cups in reverse, which is a card that isn't bad all on its own. It's just a card that talks about, in the context of a week's reading at a time, that there could be some emotional upset, upheaval, or even just a little bit of that tip of the iceberg that we don't always know how much we've got to deal with. Is it going to be a snowflake or is it a Titanic size iceberg? So the best thing to do is when you're feeling like your emotions are a little bit on edge, if you feel like you're just a little bit emotional, let things go, say nothing. Trust me when I tell you that there are some things better left unsaid. On Wednesday, we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, and this is a day when we have the full moon in Gemini. Gemini is your solar fourth house, and that is a very sensitive house already. Now, the reason why this full moon is uncomfortable is that it's in a cranky opposition to the sun in your solar 10th house of Sagittarius. That is the same location where Saturn resides at this time, and Saturn is all about making these rules almost like cages. And Saturn really is trying to work with you, asking you if what's going on at your home level or in your actual structural home, what's going on with the family members, as it were, even if those are family members by extension or even by inheritance, where you marry into family and there come all their redneck family members. This is one of those issues where we need to make sure that when the moon is in the opposition position to the sun in Sagittarius in the 10th house, it's up there with a heavy hitter. It's like going up against Babe Ruth. You're really not going to enjoy the process if you can't just learn to concede, recede, basically back down. And if you wear hearing aids, then just turn them down a notch. Don't really want to listen to what people have to say if it's going to grind your gears. Seven of Pentacles in reverse might indicate that you're feeling like you can't really take it for much longer, and that you feel like you just need to step back and reassess if what you've been working on, what you've set into motion now, is worth it. Most of you have already recognized that this is the time that we are reflecting back on what happened in 2007. This is the question. What were you starting? What were you ending? What was the situation? Were you able to wrap up a situation quickly, neatly, and the way that we would have expected most of us would? Did you drag it on too long? Did you overindulge, overengage, overcommit yourself, or actually get married to somebody who, in other ways, might not have been a person you would have selected? Or was this a situation where this person should have fallen away as if by attrition, but you hung on to it? Are you in a job that's a dead end, almost certain death? Are you in a job that you feel like you could do better if you had some more education? Maybe that's something you need to think about in the near future, Pisces, because I'm living proof that one can achieve an education, get advanced degrees, and even do it when you feel like you've got too many destructive patterns in your life, people interfering with you. I did it, so can you. Don't think you can't do it. There's even easier opportunities now for advanced education. I did it at a time where there were no choices. I had to be at a university online while I went to a local college, while I tried to do it all, and had to get a divorce that took too long to get. So under those conditions, even though we feel like we just can't add one more thing to the plate, I guarantee you, if you clear that plate of just a few things that you don't need, you'll be able to do the same thing. And always remember that the universe is there to back you if you're there to put in the hard work, and Saturn will be there to guide you, even if we really don't like having that little bit of a structure, around us, but you can still do it. You'll see Thursday we have the Temperance card, and this is a card that indicates you may be feeling as if you're not able to blend things, but I guarantee you that you can. The reason why I think you won't feel like you can is because of the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. The reason why I know you can do this is because, hey, the Temperance card is here. This is almost a guarantee under most conditions that you'll be able to make sense of what's going on, and also get oil and water to mix, even though we don't always want to do it. Friday, we've got the Eight of Wands, and this is a card that indicates either travel by air. This could be quick travel. I wouldn't wait too long if you've got a wife that's about to pop and you're trying to get to the emergency room. Call 911. Don't hit the roads. It almost happened to me. My last child was almost born in a car. You don't have to do it that way. I was being stubborn because I didn't want to be there locked down in a bed, and it got a little crazy after that. But this card could also indicate that you may leave one continent for the next to go make a visit, or for you, relatively speaking, from one state to another is even within the driving distance, the driving range that we find acceptable, is something that to you might as well be another country. So with that said, also be careful what you set in motion, because at this time, if you put it into motion, it's probably going to be like a locomotive. Difficult to stop. So just be mindful of what it is that you're engaging in. Saturday, we've got the King of Cups, and the King of Cups is a water sign just like you. Could be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or just a person who demonstrates those traits. The King of Cups is a person who's very sweet, very loving, very intuitive, and able to give very good advice. You're not going to recognize this person in someone who is combative. You're going to see this person as the type that is able to create peace, create harmony, and maybe you don't feel like this resonates with you, but especially if you're a male, maybe these are some of the traits that you need to embody. It's not difficult to do. You're just thinking of the different qualities that would make your life easier, and maybe these qualities are the type that this type of individual has. Maybe you have had too many arguments with a family member, and you realize that it's time to no longer add fuel to the flame. Maybe there's a situation that you finally realize you just need to let go and let it fall away. It doesn't help when we criticize other people, or when we take too long to realize that even when we're in contentious situations with people, something's got to give. And if you're the one who's got to give something to get it to fall away at all, go ahead and give it. If you're a female, this is probably somebody that you're thinking of. Maybe this is a situation where this is your spouse, your partner, a significant other, or business partner. With that said, just keep that in mind, that this is a week that's a little bit vulnerable. You might need to talk to this person a little bit. Sunday, we've got the Hermit card. This is a card that indicates it would behoove you to listen to your inner guidance system. If there's some wisdom to be found this week, of course, there are people that could help you. But in a cantankerous week with an opposition in our faces, and especially for you in the fourth house of home and family, I would just use my best judgment to crawl into a cave and meditate like a monk.